Hi there, this is a quick introduction to Diverse Educators, a submission for the DEI directory on our website. Why do we exist? This is kind of the history of how we came into existence. There had been an influx, a flurry of grassroots groups, Women Ed, which I'm co-founder of, and then BAME Ed, LGBT Ed and Disability Ed all launched. And we were supporting all of those different groups, and we then launched Diverse Ed in January 2018. And our USP, I guess, our perspective was we wanted to create an intersectional space, a space that was looking at people holistically to create a coherent and cohesive conversation. You've got a quick link there to the blog that Benny wrote for our keynote at our first event, where she asked the audience not to tuck in her labels. This is our hero image. We've got the 9 colours on the floor to represent the 9 identities protected in the Equality Act 2010. And our mantra, be where you're celebrated and not tolerated, creates a dialogue with the British values, or what used to be called the fundamental British values, which we take issue with. We don't think anyone should be tolerated. We think there are values that people should be treated with, such as inclusion, acceptance, empathy, love, respect, which go beyond the compliance of tolerance. Why do we do DEIB work? Well, we are a growing team of school leaders, people who coach and mentor, people who train. Some of my team work full time doing their own thing. Some work part time in schools, colleges and trusts and then do freelance work. As a team, we work with schools, colleges and trusts. We work cross-phase and cross-sector. We work both in the UK and internationally. We do a lot of work in the ITT and ECT space, supporting hubs and networks, associations and unions. We frame all of the DEIB training that we do in all the spaces that we hold. So what we call the 3 Cs, we want to develop and build consciousness, confidence and competence in ourselves and in all of our stakeholders within our educational institution. How do we work? We produce, curate, publish and amplify a lot of free resources and assets. So we have a blog that goes out a couple of times a week. We are on our 4th series of the podcast. We have a book, which is a bit of a brick, the manifesto, and we curate a series of toolkits. So that's our free assets. And then our paid for services, we consult, we coach, we train, and we have a growing kind of offer of different sessions that support different stakeholder groups or explore different themes. And some of those sessions are standalone, some of them are curated as part of programs. We also host a lot of events, both in person and virtually. There's a little bit more information there about how we support schools. Our website's a bit of an admin's cave, but there's tabs and there's links for all of these different ways of connecting with us and collaborating with us so that we can support you and your team. A reminder of those 9 protected characteristics as they stand. Obviously, we're in the window of a general election pending, and 2010 was a long time ago. But as it stands, we address and work towards supporting institutions, educational institutions, organisations in looking after all 9 identities, all of the protected characteristics and the intersects that a lot of individuals and groups will hold between them as well. What's our impact? It's always the hard bit to qualify and quantify, isn't it, when it comes to this space, because it's relatively new for a lot of organisations that we are supporting. One of our stats is that we have approximately 18,000 people visiting our site every month. We always ask for feedback after all of our training sessions and programmes and events, and it's consistently positive. We have very few complaints. We've had lots of reports sent to us recently from inspections in particular, where our partnership and our collaboration with the institution has been cited in the brilliant work they are doing and the impact it has on their staff and their students. We've got legacy and longevity with the relationships that we hold. We've been working with some MATs and unions now for 4 or 5 years, and I think that's a testament to the relationships we've built up and the trust and mutual reciprocity. And the team's constantly growing, so I think that shows our impact as well, that 5 years ago it was just me, we now have a team of 13, and it's constantly sort of growing, evolving to meet the needs of our clients. Legacy-wise, we've built up an amazing community, a community that's very inclusive and supportive, a community and network of allies and advocates. We hold different free virtual networking spaces for different stakeholder groups, and again, this evolves and grows with the needs of the climate. So we've got a very strong network of DEI leaders, a growing network of those who are doing the work through HR, a big group of stakeholders who work internationally, supporting them. I've mentioned the ITT already. We do a lot of collaboration and hold space in that space, and we hold a quarterly national diversity roundtable to bring the DEI leads at national organisations together to share best practice. there's the contact details. If you want to get in touch, please give me a shout, or you can go to the website and drop us an email through that.